All right. I think it is recorded now. So you can go ahead with the intro.
Yes. All right. Welcome everybody tonight. We have John doing a speech on OBJ. So without further ado, John, please take it away.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. The title tonight is OBS and Zoom, how to maximize your meeting or your presentation during your meeting. And it's not fully prepared, but I've harnessed enough information to actually present to you tonight, and you will guaranteed learn something at the end of this presentation. If you do not, then, mail me something and I'll give you a check. So, all right, take note, folks. So, OBS, let's start a screen share. Tonight's focus is utilize an open broadcaster, which is a software to stream online or record videos and basically to improve your virtual meeting. So OBS, as we know it, is an open source software. It's used to record and stream live, basically live, anything you want live. OBS, you can use it to do that. Anything you want to record on your screen, OBS you can use to do that. Any inputs and so forth, you can use to do that. It is cross-platform, meaning that you can install it on a Windows machine, a Mac OS machine, a Linux machine. So it's there. And best yet, it is free. And you'll understand magical software such as this one, magical. I know that's probably not a great word, but a software such as this can do so many things and it's still free. How can that be? But we'll find out. So Zoom, as you know, is the platform which we're on today, and that's a cloud-based video communication tool, and which is what we're using now. So tonight we're going to combine the two, maximize it so that you can present, basically showcase yourself on Zoom via OBS. So what happened to make OBS such a great, I said, mutually beneficial software with Zoom? So starting version 26, OBS introduced the game changer. It was there before, but as a plugin to my understanding. But the game change is that they made virtual camera the core of OBS. And virtual camera simply means that your standard web camera that you have in your computer, you can streamline that into your Zoom as when you start your meeting. But virtual camera technically just generates a virtual web camera that you can also streamline into Zoom. And some of the advantages of this is that you can design scenes in OBS, which we'll go into, to actually give your video such a professional look or a high-tech look or a salesperson look. So tonight I'll give you a piece of that. So let's dive in. So I'm going to stop the share here and start sharing my entire desktop. And you'll see that, let's see here, just a moment. Desktop, where are you? I hope I can find it. Oh, entire screen. Getting used to Zoom is another thing. All right, so let's exit out of this. And here, minimize this one. Let's minimize everything that matter. And OBS, you'd want to go to obsprojects.com and download and install it to your machine. That's your first step. Once you install it, the basic settings are usually fine. So you would start OBS. I'm assuming that you all can see my screen, correct? Okay, so let's jump into OBS. Let's say we've just installed it. And let's do an overview. Right here, this black screen in the center here is your canvas. That's where all your final graphics end up. Down here is like your scene. The scenes is like different ways to design inputs. You'll see after we go through this. The sources is where when you select your scene, your sources, you select your sources that you need inside of that scene. So a source could be your video from your webcam. an audio source from an external microphone, a picture source from your computer, a web page from your computer as well. It could be almost anything, any component that can attach to your computer. So on that note, let's start designing the scene so we can utilize into Zoom. And over to this side, we'll pay no attention to the middle of the audio mixer. That's important though, if you want to edit for clipping and all these advanced things later, but we'll ignore that for time. Over here is the most important thing of them all, is the start virtual webcam. So after we have designed our scene, we'll select start virtual webcam and we can integrate that into Zoom. So let's start right away. So first thing we want to do is to add our web camera, which will go down and select a capture source. Let's call this my cam. And then we're going to select the HD webcam. And because I have it active in Zoom currently, I'm going to deactivate my camera in Zoom so that you can actually see it live. So I'm going to stop video here. Go back to here. And you'll see me on screen. Okay. So, and I just maximized it. All right, that's my cam. Step 2, we're gonna add a graphic. Let's say we can add a picture. Let's call this my logo. Then we're gonna browse and find a picture. Fortunately, I looked ahead of time at least. I'm representing Amazon today. So shouts out to Jeff Bezos. You can send me some money after this. And all right, so my logo is massive. How can I resize this? It's too big, right? So I need to resize that logo. What we can do is to right click on it, or enter a filter, I should say, and then add, and we can scale as a filter. So scale, it just had it there. You can leave it as it is, bicubic or whatever those things means, but we could select a smaller size, right? And there we go. We have Amazon and on screen on the side, and we could scale it down even further. And we can additionally add a slideshow. So let's do my slide. And the fun part of this one is we can add an entire folder. So let's add a directory this time. And we're going to select Amazon here. And then we're going to give that a speed time of 3, let's say 2000, right? Go down here, select a size, click OK. We have a slide-in image that we can also resize. We have Amazon here. If we want to add now a color source, so we could add a background. Let's call this green for the Toastmaster folks, or yellow rather. And we can size this up and put this behind our logo, and also bring this down here, and we have something behind the logo. How am I on time? But all right, so there you have it.
8:30.
8:30. All right, so we're gonna wrap up. So there you have it. Where these kind of videos are very technical, but as you can see, we've made some progress and you've learned something. So let's start wrapping up here, and let's start a virtual camera. So we're gonna switch this, and we're starting the virtual camera, and then we're gonna go back into Zoom. Let's stop here, stop sharing. We'll go back into Zoom, select OBS as your camera source, and then start video. And you can now see that the graphics that I designed in OBS are now on screen, changing in live real time. So I don't know about you, but that just changed my life, and I hope to change yours today. And that's it. Take it away, Mr. Toastmaster.
All right. Thank you, John, for that very